Yo, it's good to Skano from the gutter. So, do y'all recall, the situation outside of Savannah, Georgia? The Hyundai Company Corporation that was raided by ICE after getting, a whistleblower, reported them for human rights violations and amongst other things, housing illegals, woo woo. Turns out it was cap. So this so-called Maga Karen. That's what she goes by on her online tag. Tory Braun. She's running for Congress in Georgia, by the way. She's the whistleblower. And like I said, it turns out this was lies, you know. Now, of those 500 so-called supposedly illegals, over 300 were actually South Korean citizens who were employed over here. That plant is a South Korean, they built it, they designed the structure, the machinery, the technology, everything, because they have an alliance with America. And this has cost Georgia billions of dollars, because South Korea's pulling back, you know what I'm saying? And this has, put a stain on South Korean, American, our partnership. And as I said, man, leave it to white American racists to cut their own damn foot off just to appease, their own sense of bigotry. But does this woman, Tory Brown, does she apologize? No, she doubles down. She made another call just recently saying that, the employees there are subjected to inhumane working conditions. So she's still trying to shade this Hyundai corporation. Hyundai probably should sue her. But I would like to understand how you think you're going to win office in a state where you have cost them billions of dollars with this Karen shit, But this is what they do, They will never admit fault. They just double down on the bullshit, you know. And this is one of the main reasons why American economy and as far as foreign political affairs is in the state that it is, you know. So great job, you know. On top of that, this so-called war against Venezuela and they drug cartels, because like I mentioned before, Trump has said that Madoso is in alliance with these cartels, Venezuelan cartels, you know, and TD, A, namely. And, we have to move against them. They are a threat to national security. They funneling metric tons of poison to America, and we have to, we got to take care of this. It's a threat to national security. So what happened? Remember, we had our little warships, our subs surrounding Venezuela, and they blew up this vessel, this ship, our American, Navy. And they was putting out the headlines say, oh, America strikes drug vessel. And I was saying, man, that didn't make sense. Why in the hell at this point in time would you be trying to funnel drug? You just, we already surrounding Venezuela. And they're going to try to send some dope out right now. And I knew it was cap. Come to find out, because they've been doing, they've been doing investigations. United Nations. And come to find out, that was just a fishing vessel, man. It wasn't even a large vessel, just a regular sized fishing boat. And we just blew these fishermen off the face of the planet, to run with this guise that it was a drug vessel. And as I said before, this got nothing to do with drug cartels. We have been in cahoots with these cartel members and presidents of these different Latin countries who are corrupted by cartels for decades, man. So I knew it was cap off the rip. It's about their oil reserves, like I said, and also America being petty, Trump being petty, because of the fact that Venezuela is now aligning with China, and Brazil. People are starting to link up. These different nations are linking up against America now. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the tables are turning, and our government is just doing everything they can, to try to spin certain narratives. But I believe the point in time where America could dictate policy, foreign economic, it's over, man. It's over. You know what I'm saying? But the American government gonna go down kicking and screaming. So this whole narrative of this war against the drug cartel is cap. We want to supplant Medoso, flip him out of there, replace him with somebody, a puppet, American government control puppet, so we can have access to the oil reserves. That's what it's all about, man. So believe very little of what you see in our American media, because most of it is cap, you know. But same old playbook. But as far as, since we on the subject of illicit drugs, come to find out, I figured out why Uganda is delineating from Nigeria, and a majority of Africa is delineating from Nigeria. You know, Nigeria is like the main hub for these cartels, the Latin cartels, from Mexico to Venezuela to Brazil. They are using Nigeria, not Mexicans themselves. They're using the corrupt politicians and these guerrilla factions, that control Nigeria to funnel, metric tons of cocaine, you know what I'm saying, through Nigeria to get to Europe. China's involved in this too, you know what I'm saying? So when I was talking about, Nigerians came up a while back, and I was talking about why even Africans don't like Nigerians. This is one of the main reasons, you know. So they putting the hammer down on Nigeria. And like I said, metritons of coke, amphetamines, by way of Mexico and these other Latin countries. And they target is Europe, all going to Europe basically. You know what I'm saying? So it's amazing to me that the Mexican cartel has infiltrated Africa, but at the same time, I shouldn't be surprised. Being the proximity, it is kind of like in the middle of their route as far as to Europe. So when the Nigerians, popped up on my channel talking about, how, we're jealous of them, even Africans are jealous of them because their ingenuity, the wealth that Nigeria and Nigerians in particular are generating. It seems that a majority of it is through either scamming or drug trafficking. So, I wasn't just, taking shots at Nigeria just, because I'm just telling you what's going on. So, keep up the great work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. As far as black excellence is concerned, it is what it is. No ops left Scano. You already know.